feel like you've got to get to bed, fine, it's up to you.
I think we ought to, Phil has a plane in the morning.
Oh. Well then, Colonel Corso, I want to thank you for being here. As I told you when you were on Dreamland, you're a very patriotic person. And you've given us a lot to think about. Colonel, thank you. John Alexander, Doctor, thank you.
Art, you might want to hear this. When I was at...
Well, if there's more, you're going to have to hold on a few minutes, all right?
Yeah.
All right, stand by.
One thing I want to tell you.
All right, fine. Stand by. All right.
Call Art Bell toll-free, west of the Rockies at 1-800-618-8255. 1-800-618-8255. East of the Rockies at 1-800-825-5033. 1-800-825-5033. This is the CBC Radio Network.
The American CBC Radio Network. My guests are Dr. John Alexander and Colonel Phillip J. Corso, retired. Back to them in a moment. All right. We thought we were done, but Colonel Corso said, got to tell you about Albuquerque.
Art, this concerns you.
With me? Okay.
I went in the bookstore, and there was 300 people there. And they set up a microphone. I had to talk to them. And at least a dozen women came up to me and said they'd heard your show. And they said, and Art, he sounded happy, real happy and pleased. I thought, well, I'm going to let him know that. And then an elder woman came up to me. She was not in the line. And she had heard your show, and she said she was in her sick bed. And got up out of her sick bed to come over and shake hands with me. And when she told me she got out of her sick bed, she was leaning over, and I was sitting down, and I reached up and hugged her. And she kissed me in the cheek and started to cry. So I figured it was all worthwhile right there.
Colonel, I understand.
And she heard your show, too. And they praise you, Art, so I want you to know that.
Colonel,
I'm in Albuquerque at the bookstore.
Well, thank you. Where do you go from here?
I'm going home tomorrow.
Going home.
Sit in my easy chair for a while.
Well, it's an incredible thing that you have done, sir, for us, for our country, for the history books. And I personally want to thank you.
Well, thanks, and I think we're all part of it, so are you, Art. And I hope it works out, and I hope we keep making improvements and stay a great country. Some of the things we did there I haven't told you about that should be done, that they stopped us from doing. And sometime we'll talk about those, too.
All right, Colonel.
Yes. Well, thank you, Art.
Thank you so much, and Dr. Alexander, thank you.
Okay, good night now.
Good night. Good night, gentlemen. There you have it, and I'm going to leave it up to you, ladies and gentlemen, to digest what you have just heard. Colonel Corso's an 82-year-old man. We have confirmed, Dr. Alexander has confirmed, and believe me, he has the resources to do that the colonel was exactly where he said he was, in the position he said he was in. And you've heard his story. What do you think? We're going to move into open lines now, and I think that after you've heard something like this, reaction is an obvious thing to seek, so we'll seek reaction from you, all of you. We'll go to open lines. CNN is confirming the Cunanan body. Cunanan apparently is dead, having committed suicide on discovery at a houseboat in Miami. So that story looks like it's just about a wrap, and we're never going to hear, obviously, from him about why he did what he did. I have a report of a 120-mile-per-hour microburst of wind just a few hours ago at Minot, North Dakota, and I would like some confirmation of that. So there's lots to talk about, and I've got lots more here, but I think at this point, it's very hard to turn to anything that would seem more urgent, more important, of greater gravity than what you just heard. And what you just heard, if you listened carefully, was an honorable, simple man who acquired and worked with alien artifacts, saw himself alien bodies, and is saying exactly, in my opinion, what he believes to be true and what he saw. You heard a real witness, maybe one of the last available for that period of time. What do you think? East of the Rockies, you're on the air. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Art. I just want to say, first off, I've been listening to you since before you were on KFYI in Phoenix. You were on another radio station, so that goes back towards 93 or 92 area.
Yeah, it goes back a ways.
Tonight's show, I've heard him on Dreamland also. Tonight's show should be repeated, no question. I put in a request on Saturday night. I'm sure tomorrow's show will be incredible with the Man in Black situation, but this show definitely deserves a Saturday repeat, if not, it needs to be heard.
Well, look, as I just said, after the gentleman probably went and hit the pillow, when you heard all of this, how do you react? I mean, do you believe what you heard?
Oh, I definitely do. I mean, after hearing the Dream Man show, I sent you an email telling you how, I feel emotional. I don't know which emotions they are. I don't know if I'm, how do you react to something like this?
I don't know.
And I know that's what you're asking me now, but my point is that's why I want to, tomorrow's show is going to be incredible because I know they all are, but this deserves a Saturday repeat because everybody has to hear this again and again.
All right, I'll see to it.
Thanks, Art.
Thank you very much for the call. Maybe it's not fair that I asked you to react, because I'm not sure how to react myself. What we were just told is that a very great deal of what we utilize now, our current technology, computer technology, fiber optics, night vision, and certain fabrics, much of our current technology has been derived not through our own specific ingenuity, although I suppose you can give credit where credit is due. They had to figure out what they had in their hands, but this technology came from elsewhere. And you've got to kind of let that settle in on you a little bit before you can react. So maybe I'm asking for reaction too quickly. First-time caller line, you're on the air. Hi.
Hello, Art.
Hello.
This is Jack from Seattle. I'll turn my radio.
Okay, Jack, thank you. That's important to do. Have it close by, folks, so you can just turn that sucker off. Otherwise, it's very confusing.
Yes.
All right, my friend.
Well, I was enjoying your show. I didn't get a chance to hear it all, but I think you had an actual eyewitness to what took place.
Well, we had more than that. We had, yes, an eyewitness, of course, but beyond that, we have a man who was in position to go to various industries with this technology, give it to them, and give them budgets at the same time to develop it. I mean, you've either got to accept, I guess, what he said and sit back and imagine the implications of it all, or figure it's a lie. And I don't think it's a lie.
Well, I don't think it was either. I mean, a man of 82 years old, I wouldn't, a person wouldn't think that he would be motivated to lie.
No.
And I just, I'm a little nervous, so you'll have to forgive me.
That's quite all right. No, listen, in a way I am too, because I don't know how to react to this. On the one hand, if you believe it, it changes everything that we thought we knew.
Well, yes, it does.
Or else you've got to believe that it's a total fabrication, and I don't believe that.
And the question becomes, why would we have been kept in the dark? See, I lived not too far from Roswell as a kid, as a young kid.
Yes, sir.
A little town in West Texas, which is, I think it's 100 miles from Roswell. And during that period of time when this took place, there was a number of reports after the Roswell incident where people were finding these balloons, these weather balloons in their fields.
That's right.
And everybody, because of the report in the paper, assumed that these were experimental